I used the best team that exists in Open Great League according to PvPoke, and today we're gonna put it in the test since we're gonna use it up in front with our Dragonair having at the back Vigoroth and Lantern. Today's content is gonna be super entertaining, so before we hop into the main content, cue the intro. Let's begin today's content with Dragonair up in front. This Pokemon is always entertaining and pretty neutral against the entire meta of Great League, but as always you can always use the Shadow version if you have it. It just feels like that the regular version of Dragonair is gonna suit myself much better, that's why I'm using it over here, and of course I do not have a Shadow one to flex on this screen. So it doesn't matter, still the regular one can perform pretty good with this exact team composition. So Lantern now is gonna go in up against that Azumarill, able to completely wall it down, and as you're gonna see in a while, in the process we're just gonna finish it off with the Surf just before they reach to the Ice Beam to take us out. We do not want to spend a shield, even at least one, on that individual matchup. Now Serperior will be at the very end, and this is still kinda good for us because we can absolutely get our hands on the Dragonair, while at some point we need to catch on our Vigoroth that aerial ace. This way we avoided for certain that Frenzy Plant, which is absolutely great for us, and now with that gold pad returning we can start spending those shields wisely. I'm just gonna go ahead and spam those body slams at this point. I have a feeling that they have to block no matter what I throw, because even when I charge up to the Rock Slide, even the body slam at this amount of HP is gonna be kinda threatening to them. Another body slam is coming up, let's see what they want to do. Of course the shield pops up, and now we can get the next Poison Fang on our Dragonair. With Dragonair going down now, we can charge up a little bit extra just before they reach to that next aerial ace with their Serperior, and right after, right on the edge, we managed to get our hands on the final body slam to set that deal towards our advantage. Into the next battle now, trainers, and we're having a Whiscash up against us. This Pokemon is always troublesome because of how bulky and spam it can be at the same time, but look at that, we got a Dragonair, we have nothing to fear here, and especially when they're going for those skulls. Unfortunately for us though, they apply the debuff. I'm pretty unlucky on that factor of Go Battling, but still we can charge up back to that Body Slam or the Aqua Tail, then switch out to our safe switch, which ends up being Vigoroth to clear the debuff, but before we do anything weird here, we still get another debuff on our side. It doesn't matter because they have a Skeledirge, and guess what, trainers, we got a double Rock Slide that even with the debuff will threat that Pokemon down, so they have to spend that final shield, and instead of using the remaining energy that they have, we're just gonna take them out with that final Aqua Tail. So Talonflame at the very end, and of course this is gonna be the end for them, because whatever they draw here is gonna be resisted. We don't care at all. We're looking at a bulky Pokemon like Lantern able to destroy down whatever remains at the very end, and at this point not even Whiscash can stop us, so we're just gonna wreak havoc with those moves, and eventually that final Surf will finish off the Flyer out of existence. Into the next one now, trainers, and we're having a Charjabug up against us. This is neutral for both ends, but I guess on the one shield scenario we might actually pull off a close victory up against that individual matchup. So here comes down my Body Slam, and my opponent over here will try to block the move, which is pretty good news for me. I'm just gonna block in return because I know that now they need 3 of those Volt Switches, and before they get to that X-Scissor, I'm just gonna get my hands on the Body Slam to try and grab that final shield out of play. A little bit too greedy from my opponent with the Charjabug gives us the edge here to finish them off, and now they have 0 shields while we have 1 remaining, and all of a sudden we have a crazy win condition over here. Primeape is having now kinda the upper hand, I guess, but without shields this Pokemon is super classy. Of course we have also avoided the matchup with our Vigoroth, and we're gonna drop it on the mirror, which is absolutely insane for us. Not gonna get my hands on the Body Slam because they have a slight energy advantage, but instead that Rock Slide to deal even more damage on their side, make them drop the energy that they have so that my Lantern can safely go in, farm the remaining HP, and in the process that Thunderbolt will grab for us an amazing victory for this one. Into the next battle now with that Skarmory, and of course all we have to do is to go ahead and push as much as we can with our Vigoroth. So immediately switching out our Pokemon, and right after they use the Sky Attack, I was expecting them to switch out, but my opponent wants to stay in, as it seems they are kinda weak to those fighting moves, so perhaps we have made a mistake at this point. Hopefully they're gonna have something that my Lantern is still gonna be useful up against to, otherwise we're kinda doomed. I'm just hoping that they have no grass types at the very end. So anyways, we end up getting that Goodra matchup, which now has access to Aqua Tail, and of course with that Body Slam of ours, we have nothing to fear over here. Whatever they throw, because I know that the other move has to be the Power Whip, we can easily survive it while we can leave it at the minimal amount of HP to farm it down pretty easily with our Lantern. So now with the energy advantage, with the energy and the shield advantage actually, we managed to get the upper hand of their third Pokemon, which ends up being just another Lantern. They're trying to catch here and at the same time throw the Brave Bird, but I know that the Brave Bird is still gonna do so much damage, so I need to sacrifice a shield in the process. So here comes now my Thunderbolt, and my win condition at this point is if they go for the bait. So here comes the bait with the Surf, we managed to guess correctly, and right after we got the Thunderbolt to guarantee the knockout against a very skillful trainer. Into the next battle now with a Stunfisk up in front. This Pokemon is always troublesome for a lot of reasons, but to be fair, we can still handle it with our Aqua Tails. So here comes the first one, already dropped below 50%, and now we're gonna switch out to our Vigoroth, which is mostly gonna be used as a punching bag, but Vigoroth just doesn't care because of how neutrally good it is as well against the entire meta of Open Great League. Another move is coming up, but this time from that Swampert on the CMP. Because that is a CMP, I have a feeling that after we block, we can still push even more with those counters, so I'm just gonna make them drop the remaining energy that they have so that my Dragonair now can go in and safely farm down without them reaching even to a Hydro Cannon. With that Swampert now out of the way, I have enough energy to unleash my full wrath on that Stunfisk. Here comes the Aqua Tail, and of course at this point I know that I need to protect my Dragonair from further harm. So here comes now another Aqua Tail, they are not gonna even try to catch, so down goes the Stunfisk. It all depends now on what they might be having at the very end. They have just a Noctowl, so as soon as we reveal here our Lantern, they will just back out. Into the next battle now with that Dugong up against us, and you know what, this is super bad. I'm just gonna switch out immediately to my Vigoroth, and we need to flip around that very bad lead as fast as we can. So here comes now on the CMP my Rock Slide, and at this point they're just gonna go for those shields. So before we go down, we can land another Rock Slide on their side, but first they are gonna block. So another move is imminent, and if I knew that I could reach to a Body Slam here, perhaps I could reverse my moves, going first for the Body Slam for the bait, grab the shield, and then the Rock Slide for the knockout, but it doesn't matter, it is what it is. At this point I'm pretty sure that I have to rely all of my resources, my last shield basically, on that Lantern. So down we go to the Dugong. I was hoping I could get my hands on that Body Slam, but obviously that was a very bad move, and it still depends on what they might be having at the very end. They're not switching out, so that gives me kind of a big thought that they might be having something like a Talonflame, but instead they got the Alola Marowak. Here comes now my Surf, which can do so much damage, but we still need one more. All they need to do here is to reach to the Double Bone Club. Have we pressed the move trainers? Yes, we have, and of course on the second CMP we managed to get that big victory, because they definitely had over here another Bone Club ready to go. Hakamo for the final one, everyone, and let's see how this is gonna go, because this Pokemon is always a troublemaker for this team. Not only it can finish off our Dragonair, but if they go ahead and completely farm down, they can still do severe damage to my backline. Over here I decide to get into the battle with my Vigoroth and try to tank one Brick Break. My defense is lowered, and right after we're just gonna keep going at it with a Body Slam on that Lantern of their own. It still depends on what they have at the very end. As always, I'm saying it because overall Go Battle League feels like RPS sometimes. So here comes now my Lantern, and since they are not switching out, I got a big feeling that we might be in a very good position. able to farm down the process with those sparks. At the very end, they have a Feraligatr, so what they wanted to do over here was to go ahead and do as much damage as they can with their lantern so that they can farm down eventually with that Shadow Claw damage. But to be fair, we're kinda clutch over here with those fast attacks, and we managed to get the victory eventually to grab that final victory for this video. Thank you for watching, everyone, and before you go, just leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new to my content, and over here I have 2 videos to continue your Ganeto journey on YouTube. Till the next time, take care, trainers!